Learn to set boundaries, healthy boundaries for yourself. You set healthy boundaries on not eating all the pie. You're setting healthy boundaries on not drinking the entire fifth of vodka. You are setting healthy boundaries by going to the gym throughout the holiday season. Now set healthy social boundaries by saying no to something that will increase your emotional stress to the point where you might literally have a heart attack. Welcome to First Responder Fitness with Carl Wimmer, where armor is forged through mental, spiritual, and physical preparation. Welcome to First Responder Fitness with Carl Wimmer, my friends. It is just a pleasure to be with you once again this week. You know, as I was reflecting on the fact that we're coming to the end of this year and reflecting on the fact that we've now been together for just a short period of time. I think we've only been doing this podcast for a few months now, but listenership is growing, and for that, I thank you. I'm grateful for that. It's such a pleasure to be able to join together with you, and that's how I view this. I view this as a partnership. I view this as, you know, you allowing me into your life, allowing me to come through your earbuds or through your phone, through your computer, whatever you use, Spotify or YouTube, and allowing me a part of your life to be your friend, to come in and walk side by side with you on this fitness, health, longevity journey. And just know that I'm with you. I am cheering you on. I am encouraging you, and looking forward to many, many years of just walking together through this process. I'm really looking forward to the new year. I know most people set New Year's resolutions. I'm one of them. Other people don't do it so much, but I do. And I look forward to setting up some New Year's resolutions with you. Walking together, accomplishing our goals, celebrating our successes, mitigating our failures, and learning from them, and moving forward with those goals. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, you and your family. We are right in the heart of the holiday season, and, you know, I love this time of year. It seems to be a time of year when people are more charitable, they're more giving, they're more loving. Our hearts and our minds just seem to be a little bit more open to other people who may be less fortunate than us. And so whatever that looks like for you, I would encourage you to be giving this holiday season, be charitable, and just enjoy the heck out of it. Enjoy time with family and friends, and enjoy what you have. You know, that brings me to this topic, the topic of this particular episode, because the topic of this episode centers around the holiday season. And unfortunately, it's the dark side of the holiday season. It's the dark side of the Christmas season, because there is an undeniable fact that between Thanksgiving and New Year's, there are more people dying from heart attack, stroke, and cardiovascular events than at any other time during the year. Did you know that? Did you know that more people die from heart attack, strokes, and other cardiovascular issues this time of year than at any other time? It's absolutely true. You know, there's a lot of rumors out there, and there's a lot of stuff that is spread that's not true. For instance, I had always believed for a long time, but I always believed that suicide rates increase during the holidays. There's really no data to back that up. I always believed it, but it's one of those things where you hear it and it makes sense to you, and you pass it along, and other people pass it along, and it kind of develops its own its own urban legend truth to it. But there's really no statistical backing for it. I always did believe it, because I will never forget, as a young rookie officer, my first really horrible child suicide was during Christmas. during the holiday season. And I will never forget his name, the family's name. I'll never forget the situation. I'll never forget everything that was involved in that particular situation. I think that many of you firefighters and law enforcement officers, you can relate to that. And so I just always assumed that suicide was deeper, more involved. There was more of them during the holiday season. While that may not be true, it is undeniably true that heart attacks, stroke, and cardiovascular incidents go up during the holidays. In fact, the peak of heart attacks is right now. According to a study published by the European Heart Journal, they found that heart attacks increased by about 20% during the holidays. The season between Thanksgiving and New Year's, there are 20% more heart attacks and more death during that time than the rest of the year. It especially affects those who are 65 years of age or older. And it even has a name. It's called the holiday heart attack effect. So tragic. So tragic that during a season when we focus a little more on family, focus a little more on love, focus a little more on unity, that people are dying. And the key contributors to this, the singular contributor to this is atherosclerosis and a lack of health. There's several things that I want to discuss today, but I want to just encourage you during this holiday season to take care of yourself. Take care. I end every episode saying, be good to yourself, be good to others, and as always, stay safe. Yes, that's the way I end my episodes, but it's sincere from my heart. You need to take care of yourself. You need to watch out for others. You need to make sure that you're doing those things necessary to make sure that you're not one of the statistics. You're not one of the 20% more greater, the larger population who's having heart attacks and strokes. So let's just talk about some of the causes. And then at the end of this episode, we're going to talk about the major cause, the primary cause. And we are going to give you steps to make sure this does not become something of a reality in your life. We care about you here at First Responder Fitness, and we want you to live a long, healthy life. The whole entire goal of this is to extend your life, to produce a long, healthy life, so that when you retire from law enforcement, when you retire from firefighting, even if you're not a first responder and you're just interested in health and longevity, that when you can retire, that those golden years are actually golden and you're not crippled or unhealthy or in a situation where you can't do what you want to do. You work all your life. You work forever. Some of you get jobs at 10, 11, 12 years old. You work from the time you're a young teenager until the time you're 65 years old. You work. You're working for the man. You're working for your employer. You're doing what you do. Then when you finally have a little bit of time and perhaps a little money for yourself, it's a tragedy that health gets in the way of you being able to do what you want to do, what you need to do. So let's start in with just a few of the issues that we deal with. Let's just talk about some of these topics, some of these subtopics regarding heart attacks during the holiday season. The first thing I want to discuss is, and the first cause of an increased heart attacks during the holiday season is overeating and unhealthy diets. People tend to indulge in rich, high-fat, salty foods during the holiday season. Now, that's fine on occasion, but did you know that when you consume a massive amount of food at one time, especially if it's high in fat, if it's high in salt, if it's rich foods, it increases your blood pressure? A massive meal increases your blood pressure, and your body starts to focus on the digestion process. This makes it harder on your heart. Cholesterol levels go up. Several of your body's metabolic chemicals and reactions start to increase and go a little bit haywire when you overeat. And we have a tendency to overeat during the holidays. This heightens the risk of atherosclerosis, which is, of course, that buildup of plaque in your arteries, and it increases the strain on your heart. So these massive, massive meals that start on Thanksgiving and for some of us continue almost daily between Thanksgiving and New Year's, that is a small part of what causes an increase in heart attacks during the holiday season. You don't want to be one of those statistics. So I always encourage people. I am not a fear monger when it comes to food. I don't like fear mongers when it comes to food. I definitely encourage you to eat healthy at least 80% of the time. If you eat healthy at least 80% of the time, if you exercise and you don't miss, and you go to the gym at least 80% of your planned time, if you do those things that are health conscious at least 80% of the time, you are going to be better off than the overwhelming amount of people around you, the overwhelming the rest of the population. You don't have to be dogmatic and say, oh, I cannot miss, or I cannot have that. I simply cannot have that piece of pumpkin pie or apple pie, or if you're like me, pecan pie or coconut cream pie. Ooh, 2 thumbs up there. You can have it, but be judicious. Don't be a glutton. Have a slice of pie, not the whole pie. And once you've had that piece of pie, make sure that others get a piece, and get rid of the leftovers that are unhealthy for you. You don't need a piece of pie every day for 30 days. Gluttony, excess, helps lead to heart attacks, this unhealthy diet. The next thing that increases your chances of heart attack during the holiday season is your alcohol consumption. I drink alcohol in extreme moderation. I don't drink every week. I probably don't even drink every month. I drink on occasion. But I also understand that alcohol has 0 health benefits. 0. It is poison. It is a poison to your body. And during the holiday season, what oftentimes happens? We have alcohol in everything. We have it in the eggnog. We have it in the punch. We have it in our fridge. We have it for lunch. I could be Dr. Seuss right now. Alcohol consumption spikes during the holiday season. Heavy drinking is particularly dangerous for those of you who already have atherosclerosis, heart disease, or other heart problems. Perhaps you have an arrhythmia, an irregular heartbeat. Perhaps you have high blood pressure. And all of those things combined with a massive increase of alcohol consumption can increase the likelihood of getting a heart attack and dying. You don't want to die. You want to live. You want to have a long, healthy life. So please, I beg of you, moderate your alcohol consumption during the holiday season. Just wise. That's just wise advice. Thirdly, the third thing that leads to more heart attacks during the holiday season: physical inactivity. Physical inactivity. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the episode as kind of the larger problem. But physical inactivity. During the holidays, people are more likely to skip their regular exercise. I don't know if you've noticed, but the gym is less crowded this time of year. I walk in and I have my run of the roost there. I can go do anything I want. The cable crossover machines are so popular at my gym. And I go there. I can use them anytime. I don't have to wait because people go to the gym in less frequently during the holiday season. And skipping your regular exercise routine only exacerbates your risk for cardiovascular problems. If you sit all the time, sitting all the time, being sedentary, not exercising is already unhealthy. If you are mixing that with overeating, alcohol consumption, you are really risking a lot. You're kind of a ticking time bomb. So be cautious. Finally, the fourth thing is just the incredible stress, the emotional stress. It is a major contributor to heart problems and heart attacks during the holiday season. You can't overlook that. The fact is that the stress of social obligations, work parties, church parties, financial struggles because your kids, your family, they expect things. You need to get them things and you're having financial issues, family conflicts. During the holidays, family members who never associate with each other throughout the year because they really don't like each other, they don't get along, you're crammed together, you're overeating, you're drinking too much alcohol, and you get together and these family conflicts cause problems. Who has family who has family problems during the Christmas season or has had? I'm there. I've seen it. There's a whole section of our family that doesn't really get together anymore during the holidays because some people in our family just they just can't seem to get along. That's an issue, the holiday stress. Perhaps you lost a loved one during the holiday season, and so the holidays are not real jolly for you. Perhaps they bring up terrible memories and they trigger stress hormones and struggles and problems for you. All of these things, the holiday stress can increase your cortisol levels, can raise your blood pressure, cause inflammation. All these things can contribute to heart disease and heart attacks. It is so important that you set boundaries and that you learn to say no if you need to say no. If going to that work party will be the thing that breaks the camel's back, the straw that breaks the camel's back, don't go. Learn to set boundaries, healthy boundaries for yourself. You set healthy boundaries on not eating all the pie. You're setting healthy boundaries on not drinking the entire fifth of vodka. You are setting healthy boundaries by going to the gym throughout the holiday season. Now set healthy social boundaries by saying no to something that will increase your emotional stress to the point where you might literally have a heart attack. Be careful. Take care of yourself. What about strokes? I don't know about you, but I just have this perhaps even irrational fear of having a stroke. That's why I talked a lot about, in the last episode, we talked about the health benefits of using the sauna. And one of the things I really didn't discuss or go into deeply, but I talked about neurodegenerative diseases and brain health. Using a sauna regularly absolutely reduces your chances of having a stroke. And that for me is reason enough to use a sauna and to continue to use a sauna regularly 4 to 7 times a week, as the protocol in the sauna episode discusses. I have this irrational fear of stroke. I'd almost rather have a heart attack because I've seen some of the side effects of stroke, and I'm sure you have as well. But according to a article in JAMA, which is really the medical journal that is the premier, most trusted medical journal, in JAMA Neurology in 2018, they showed that there is a notable increase in stroke incidents during the holidays. That's horrible. The authors of this particular study suggested that the spike can be due to a variety of factors, and we're going to talk about them right now. The first factor that they point out, and this is unique, but it's the cold weather. Cold weather, especially if you're outside in the cold weather for a long period of time, it causes your blood vessels to constrict, which can increase your blood pressure. And so if you're going outside, stay warm, bundle up, use layers like they talk about. If you already have elevated blood pressure, or let's say you have undiagnosed hypertension, high blood pressure, going outside and letting your blood vessels constrict and putting more strain on your heart can trigger a stroke by causing a rupture in a weakened blood vessel. Let's say you have a weakened blood vessel that you don't even know about, but it's there because you have high blood pressure and you don't take care of yourself. Now you go outside, your blood vessels constrict, you're outside for quite a while, you're not dressed properly, you're one of those guys who wears shorts in the middle of the winter. I know some of those. I love you guys, but you're crazy. You wear shorts in the middle of winter and your blood vessels constrict. And if that weak blood vessel is in your brain and it ruptures, you are in trouble. It's more dangerous in colder climates where people are at greater risk during the winter months, and that's during the holiday season. So the first thing is make sure that you are bundling up and you're staying warm when you go outside in the winter to prevent strokes and those types of things. It seems like I'm picking on this one, but we're going to mention it again. The second cause, according to this JAMA Neurology article, the second cause for increased strokes during the holidays is alcohol use, excessive alcohol consumption. Being that it's so common during the holidays and the celebrations, it is linked to strokes. It can lead to elevated blood pressure, an increase in the likelihood of arrhythmias, atrial fibrillation, which it's a well-known factor for strokes. And so you need to moderate your alcohol intake. I've already said that, but it's not only for heart attacks, but for stroke as well. In a 2014 research publication in the magazine Circulation, in the journal article Circulation, it found a correlation between binge drinking during the holidays and the number of emergency room visits for stroke, particularly in those of you who have pre-existing cardiovascular conditions. We'll be talking about that. In 2004, so quite a while ago, the American Journal of Public Health reported, talking about both heart attacks and strokes, that death from cardiovascular causes, that's heart attacks, strokes, those types of things, increased dramatically during the holiday season. And the uptick they found was a combination of stress, cold weather, unhealthy eating, increased alcohol consumption, and pre-existing conditions such as high blood pressure and obesity. This holiday effect kills people. It kills people. And the stress and the problems that associated with this, it just makes the perfect storm that I want you to be prepared for. There is, as I said, an actual syndrome that science and doctors refer to called holiday heart syndrome. Holiday heart syndrome, it's a well-known phenomenon where there's an increase in atrial fibrillation during the holiday season. AF is a condition in which the heart's upper chambers beat irregularly. And when that happens, it's an increased risk factor for both stroke and heart attack. It's often triggered by all of the things we just talked about, the emotional stress, the binge drinking. And according to this, Dr. James O'Keefe, cardiologist from St. Luke's Mid-America Heart Institute, says this: holiday heart syndrome is linked to high alcohol consumption, a lack of sleep, stress, obesity, and other pre-existing issues. People who are prone to arrhythmias may find that their condition worsens at this time of year. Unquote. Or end of quote. He points out one thing that I believe is so important. And like I said, we're going to have an entire episode on this, probably multiple episodes on this in the future, but it is a lack of sleep. If you're not getting the amount of sleep that you need, quality sleep, 8 hours a night of good quality sleep, 2 complete sleep cycles, you increase your chance of heart attack already. You're already increasing your health problems and your risk of a cardiovascular event. When you mix a lack of sleep with all of the other issues that we have discussed, you are mixing together a toxic bowl of potential heart attack, stroke, and issues during the holiday season. So the bottom line is this. The conclusion to those things is that the holiday season is marked by a behavioral, emotional, environmental factors that pose an increased risk for heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular health problems or death. This combination of overeating, alcohol consumption, stress, cold weather, lack of sleep creates a perfect storm for those of you who are already at risk of cardiovascular disease. Underestimating this will get you killed. So let's talk about this in a larger macro sense. Let's just pull back and let's look at your life in general. Because if you remember in 2020, 2021, when COVID was was the fear, COVID was going around everywhere, and people were at sincere risk of COVID, especially those. You remember they said if you're a youth, a child, or if you're elderly, I don't think they said youth. I think they actually said that youth were healthier and they were at less risk, but elderly were definitely at more risk. And those of you who have a pre-existing health condition were at risk. And what else did they say? Those who are obese. The obese were at greater risk when it comes to COVID. Well, they don't even need to add when it comes to COVID. If you're obese, you're at greater risk, period. If you're obese, you're at greater risk of death 365 days a year, no matter what. And the issues during the holiday season just increase and exacerbate that. So let's talk about that for a minute, my friend, because all of these things could be lessened and be less of a problem and could be something that you don't have to fear if you, the rest of the year, are focused on health and fitness. Are you? Or are you 20, 30, 50, 70, 100 pounds overweight? Do you have a belly that hangs over your belt? Do you have a belly that sticks out? Do you have an excessive amount of fat that you're carrying around? If you do, you are at greater risk where you are right now. My friend, I would encourage you, go back to the very first episode or the second episode of First Responder Fitness. Learn about cardiovascular disease. Learn about the issues that we have that affect everybody. And start implementing strategies to prevent death from cardiovascular issues. Are you doing your 150 minutes of zone 2 cardiovascular exercise every week? That's roughly 30 minutes a day. Are you doing what you need to be doing to increase the likelihood that you're going to survive the holidays? Are you, I've mentioned in the last couple episodes, I've mentioned summer 2025 is coming. We prepare now that summer bodies are made in the winter, that if you want abs or if you want, you don't even need abs. Okay. Whatever. If you want a body that looks like you work out when you go to the beach, when you go to the swimming pool, whatever the case may be during the summer, that is done right now. That is done in December. It is done in November. It's done during the winter where you're exercising, and all of that good, all the good decisions you're making now build up to summertime. If you want that, you need to prepare now. If you want to survive the holidays without an extreme risk of heart attack, stroke, or cardiovascular event, you've got to prepare during the rest of the year. You need to be doing your 150 minutes of zone 2 cardio. And again, what's zone 2 cardio? In case you didn't watch the other episodes, I encourage you to go back and watch them. But I'll just tell you, zone 2 cardio is cardiovascular exercise where you are breathing not uncontrollably. You could carry on a conversation, but it's a little bit difficult, okay? If you're on the phone while you're doing zone 2 cardio, you could carry out a conversation, but the person on the other side of the phone will know you're working out. So you need to be doing a minimum of 150 minutes, according to the American Heart Association, a minimum of 150 minutes of that per week. Most Americans, most people aren't getting 30 minutes of that a week. Are you weightlifting? Are you strengthening your muscles? Are you strengthening your legs, your back, your arms? Are you strengthening your body? Lifting weights is so metabolically healthy. It is so important for your overall metabolic health. Are you doing it? Most people don't lift anything but 12 ounces of beer, and that is not good. That's one of the preconditions to these heart attacks and strokes. If you're not lifting weights or you don't know where to begin, I have episodes on that. How to begin an exercise program, how to start. Please go back and watch those episodes. Are you doing your VO2 max exercise? What the heck is that? Well, I have an entire episode on VO2 max exercise. VO2 max is the most important one of, if not the single most important factors when it comes to your health and longevity. Doctors and scientists can measure your VO2 max. And if you have a good, powerful VO2 max, that's the amount of oxygen your body can use in a certain period of time. I go through the entire thing. Look it up. Go back and watch this episode. If you have a very good high VO2 max, you will live longer and you'll be healthier in your older age. But you've got to be doing VO2 max exercises. You've got to do those. Are you doing those things? Are you doing your aerobic exercise? Are you doing your weightlifting? Are you doing your VO2 max exercise? If you are, your risk during the holidays is not necessarily any more than what it normally is, especially if you're moderating your food intake, your alcohol intake, and you're getting quality rest and sleep. If you are focusing on reducing your stress, doing your mindful meditation, doing your sauna protocols, doing the things that reduce stress levels in your life. My friend, you do not need to suffer during the holidays. The holidays can be the best time of the year. It's the best time of the year, they say. It's a time of love. It's a time of family. It's a time of getting together. It's a time of rejoicing and spending time with those who matter the most in your life. It shouldn't be something that the fact that you could die from a heart attack or stroke should not be looming over your head. But if you live unhealthfully the rest of the year, if you're living fast and hard, pedal to the metal the whole time, and you are not exercising, you're not watching what you eat, you're not paying and prioritizing protein, prioritizing your nutrition, if you are not doing the things that you need to do to be healthy, the holiday season is a dangerous season for you. I don't want that to be the case. I do not want that to be the situation with you. So, if you have neglected your health up until this point, I beg of you, be cautious during the holiday season. Moderate your food intake. Moderate your alcohol consumption. Watch your stress levels. Don't go out in the cold without being bundled up and having appropriate warm clothing on. Don't think you can go out and shovel your walk when you don't exercise ever. You know how many people are having heart attacks because they don't exercise, they're obese, they're overweight, and then they have to go shovel their driveway? What makes you think that you can shovel tons of snow during the winter season when you never, ever exercise? You're abusing your body. You're abusing your heart. Your heart never did anything to you. It treats you well. It keeps you alive every day without you even thinking about it. And now you're going to go out and shovel 10 tons of snow when it's not prepared to do so? When your heart hasn't been elevated at all year long? Where you haven't hit a gym twice in the year previous? Where you haven't done any cardiovascular exercise? Where you haven't done any weight training and you're going to go out and shovel snow? You're asking too much of your heart. You need to train yourself. At the beginning in the introduction of every episode, it says, welcome to First Responder Fitness, where armor is forged. You're not forging armor unless you're training. And you're doing the protocols and the things that you need to do to make yourself healthy. So I just beg of you, start now. Go back and watch some episodes. Go back and listen, learn, and start preparing. Do not let, you owe it to your family to not die during the holidays, okay? Listen to me, men. This applies to you women as well, but I want to speak specifically to you men who have a wife and kids at home. You cannot bury your head in the sand and expect good results. You owe it to your family to be able to be healthy. You owe it to your family to be healthy, to be strong, to be the man of the family, to be the man of the house, someone who can protect the family, someone who can work, someone who can protect their spouse, someone who can protect their kids. But if you are doing nothing but sitting around all year, you are putting yourself at risk during the holidays. And you have a heart attack during the holiday season, you have a stroke during the holiday season, or God forbid, you die during the holiday season. What are you doing to your family the rest of the year? From now on, for the rest of their lives, the holidays will be filled with tragedy. The holidays will be a moment of sadness for them because dad died of a heart attack during Christmas season. Do you want that to be your legacy? I know I'm talking hard here, but listen to me, men. Rise up. Rise up and be men who model healthy behavior for their kids, who model healthy behavior for their spouse, who leads their family in healthy behavior. And then the Christmas season, the holiday season can be a time of rejoice and rejoicing for you and your entire family. It's up to you. I encourage you. Get out there and get it done. I am on your team. I am with you. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments. I personally answer every comment. Leave a comment and I will answer it. I will spend time answering every comment of this video. So I encourage you to subscribe, share with your friends, share with anyone you love this holiday season. Let's get out there and let's make a healthy, prosperous new year as we come up to 2025. Until then, be good to yourself, be good to others, and as always, stay safe.